Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans. With your host, Jessy, Martin.
What are you talking about? You're out of your mind.
John Taman.
We finally got professional football back. This is going to be fun.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Max Taylor.
As long as you got Jaden Daniels, you got a chance to win.
Spanning the eras of Washington football. Honoring the past. Commanding the future. And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Hey, everybody. I am John Taman, 300 episodes going strong of being the world's worst podcast host, even though I haven't really been the host of it for 300 episodes. And really, this is probably like our 314th because I think we took a lot of time to get to our 200th. We kept pushing it down the road. But hey, man, that's pretty cool, and it doesn't make any difference. It's the 300th episode, and we are very honored to know that Scott G says, oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Where's one? Here we go. Scott G. Nice to be here. Thank you. 300 episodes, and the most consistent item is that you're late to get started. You are correct, sir. This has become a trademark of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. If we say 5:30, it means 5:33, 5:35. Really depends on Scott and how many times he has to get up and take a leak. All right, so we'll jump right into things and say hello to our good friend from southeastern Virginia. There he is over there. Let me find your music real quick before I sound stupid. Well, too late. Too late. World's worst podcast host at work, ladies and gentlemen. God bless them. They move this shit all the time on me. All right, well, we'll just do this. Jessy Martin.
You just gotta love the Nut
Hello.
Squad.
All right, well,
Captain of the Nut Squad.
there he is, Jessy Martin. I can't find the music. Where the hell did it go? God, what do they do with this stuff? All right, anyway, nice to see you, pal. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't being.
Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. The band finally arrived.
Trying to figure out why this isn't on Twitter when it says it's on Twitter.
There was a thing that came up before we started saying there was problems with it streaming to X.
Do you have the link?
It looks fine on my end right here, but I go on my Twitter and it's not being streamed.
Scott, are you a blue check?
No.
Oh my God! As an international fan of the year, you've not gotten a blue check. You think the Commanders would have paid for something like that? I bet you they give.
Not anymore. I'm not international fan of the year anymore. So.
I'll bet you they do. Well, I'll tell you what. No, you are still, but actually, no, you're not. But here he is. We're proud of you anyway, Scott Hartley.
We're on there. All right.
So as it is known now that there is a new international fan of the year, and I will allow you to go ahead and announce your predecessor or your whatever the fuck it is.
Successor.
There you go. Thank you.
Words. Tony, at least you know the command of the English.
I got so many things whirling around in my head right now. It's crazy.
It is our language, Scott, to be fair. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah, these just ruined it. See, when you pick up a computer and you look at it, it says English simplified with an American flag next to it. So
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it's
I deserve this.
Oh, I'm on mute now. Now you muted me. Thanks for that.
I did.
It's all right. Andy Burrows is the international fan of the year for 2025. So congratulations to him. He is going to Pittsburgh with Jessy, I believe. You are also going to Pittsburgh to the draft. So good and enjoy it. And we will start the campaign. Fourth wins for an Irishman or somebody else in the group, anybody at all who will to win the International Fan of the Year 2027, because we need about 20 inner circle tickets. So if you can open us up, that'd be great.
Anybody, sure you need a good Irishman like myself.
Anybody that's part of our group. All right, we've got a nice international group here of fans. Yeah. And anybody that's part of our little cluster, we want to keep them as international fans. We want to just keep it rolling around. By the way, speaking of next year's International Fan of the Year, by the way, Andy Burrows, congratulations. Honest to God. Look, when I was in the car coming out of where we went and saw them play the Jaguars, all right, And when we're leaving the game, Doc was all excited on the radio talking about it. And they're talking about, people come a long way to see them play. People, and he goes, Andy Burroughs was here. I'm in the truck. I was like, dang.
You should have been in Madrid. You should have been in Madrid, John. It was like walking around with a minor celebrity. It's like everyone wants a photo.
He didn't love it. He didn't love it one bit, did he? Not one.
Oh, I'm sure he did not. I can't see him in any way enjoying the spotlight. Speaking of people that enjoy the spotlight, there's our good friend Tony Wheat down there. The Irish. There's nothing really that rhymes with Irish that I can call you. The Irish commander down there. There he is. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
That's
good. How you boys doing?
I mean, I guess I'm doing great. We've already been around the room as to how everybody else is doing, so thanks for asking.
Oh, I'm just polite like that,
I know. Let's see. Scott G says, who is starting the fund for bail money for the draft? In Pittsburgh, really, you can do a hell of a lot. They had Ben Roethlisberger up there, which, by the way, this is a new argument brewing here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. Ben Roethlisberger go into the Hall of Fame. No. By the way, for me to say brewing here on the
overrated quarterback
podcast, Ben Roethlisberger all in one sentence, that's a trick. Ask me in an hour to do that. I won't be able to do it. All right, so we do have some stuff to get right to. Is there any Commanders news that's right off the top that we should discuss other than, of course, they've re-signed Andrew Wiley.
Yep. Yeah.
There he is. Scouts is happy with it. I'm happy with it. They re-signed Tress Way, I think, since the last time we were here. So have they done anything else since re-signing Wiley?
Well, they had a couple press conferences today. Yeah. I didn't catch the Dan Quinn one. I just didn't have.
He didn't say much. Yeah, it was a bunch of nothing burgers.
They're gonna hold off on releasing Lattimore because of details. Which honestly, they are very good at saying nothing with a lot of words. They went to the Belichick school. So y'all got to get used to that, man. They say nothing and you all are looking for meaning and they ain't saying, they're not going to tell you anything.
We talked about it on the bunker, John, and it's about an injury settlement. That's all that is.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the full 18 million back, but you probably get 14 of it. I'm assuming thereabouts.
I did glean one little bit of information, I guess. Somebody asked him about Laramie Tunsil, and he said the usual. Of course, we want to get him back, but haven't really. We're not going to put a timeline on that. That was the thing that we're not going to put a timeline on that. But then later on, somebody else asked him something about his plans on signing somebody, and he just plain out said, "We've already been talking with Laramie's people." So. Or with Laramie, because I don't think he has people.
Yeah, the other one I think was about Deron Payne.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the only thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad for that.
They're going to get that contract done. It doesn't need to be right this second. There's loads of time. People should probably just chill out. It's not going to turn into a Terry McLaurin situation.
Let's hope.
It's not. It's not. There's no agents involved with Laramie. He's his own agent. Both sides want this, and I've mentioned this on the bunker. I mean, Laramie is a different animal than a Terry McLaurin. Laramie is a top 5 offensive tackle. It's close to a blue chip, if not a blue chip player. The only one on this team, and there's a lot of other details going from different things with Terry McLaurin. He's a skill player. So age does matter more when you're talking about a wide receiver compared to an offensive tackle. This is going to get done.
Elite tackles do tend to play for a long time. I don't know off the top of my head how long Trent's been in the league, but it's been at least 12, 13 years, I would say.
Trent's got a $39 million cap hit this year. I just read that.
I've just seen something that he might be going separate ways from the 49ers. It's been mentioned as a
boy, I tell you. All right, so real quick before we jump into ours, just dreaming on that. If you're the 49ers, do you let him get away? Even at this age? Honest to God.
Yeah, he's the best left tackle in the game.
He is. He's a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, I don't think he's even lost a step. So, who knows? Hang on one second. Go ahead. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I got to take care of something, and I'll be back in 5 seconds, and then we'll get started on our draft talk. But go ahead, Tony, what you were going to say.
I was just going back to what Jesse said about Payne. Payne was the only one that they sort of, it seemed that they were quite upbeat on Payne. I heard a couple of other things this week about how they think if they're going to move to more of a 3-4 defense, that they think he could play as the end in the 3-4 defense and also as the nose tackle potentially as well. So, they seem to be suggesting that there was a number of possibilities of combinations and packages around him, Kinlaw, and Johnny Newton. So, assuming that we draft an edge and probably sign an edge in free agency to go with Armstrong and at least one or two others, the D line then has a much different look to it. So but it was interesting that they were keen on paying
Jacob Martin myself. I think he deserves.
Yeah, I still want Jacob Martin. I still want Dietrich Wise as well. I want to see both back as depth pieces. I suppose he's the young kid as well. I thought he showed a few flashes at the end. The one that was ex-49er, who came off an quite really bad ACL injury.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name. But he didn't really flash to me all that much. Don't forget, there's Jean-Baptiste
Jackson.
Yeah. Jean-Baptiste is still there. So, I mean,
he is,
there's rotational players. And, I think a lot of times when people would hear names like this that we're talking about, we're thinking that, oh, no, we're saying it's okay because of these guys. No. These are depth rotational players. To me, Jacob Martin is high on that list. I think he really played well for us as that. I think Dietrich Wise, dude, and I swear to God, just put him in those white gloves and let him hold his hand out. It'll scare the hell out of anybody. I'm way up in the stands and I could see those things. It's like he's got these paddles on his hands. He's just waving them around. He's so long in his arms to be able to get things down. Hey, is that Andy?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Andy? International Fan of the Year, Commander's International Fan of the Year, Andy Burrows in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are watching on social media somehow, please come on over. Since Max got engaged, we haven't seen him. That didn't take long. He is #whipped. Actually, Max has been working nights. He'll be back. I think this week he's done working nights. So, all right. Anyway, I was saying something before he threw me off there. Brian Johnson is officially out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just run around the league real quick and talk about that. Cliff and Brian Johnson both landed up with the Rams. Scott, we'll start with you. What do you have? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Not really. Assistant head coach for Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, but it's got to be more than a title, don't you think, Tony?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, obviously they promoted what's his name, Shieldhouse, to the offensive coordinator role, and obviously McVay calls the plays anyway. So, how far, what degree of responsibility does he have? I mean, obviously the assistant head coach, he's going to be taking on some non-play calling roles around, presumably, I don't know, what game planning or game management. I'm not exactly sure what that would entail. But I think he's, we were saying on the text earlier on, John, you were saying about, a lot of cooks in there. But I normally I would say, yeah, I can see the issue there. But to me, it's not an issue because everybody knows that McVay is the boss there, and exactly. it starts and finishes with McVay. So whatever kind of role Kingsbury is going to have is going to be some kind of very
probably to bring in some different new ideas. This is what I'm thinking. Like sometimes your stuff gets a little bit stale, and you want to try to stay up, especially on the defenses. We're starting to see that cycle of defenses coming around. This is how offense adapts. You bring people in, you bring new ideas, freshen up your playbook a little bit, and I think that's what this is right here.
I tell you, I mentioned back to you, Tony, when we were talking about too many cooks. I mean, that's a cliche for a reason. All right.
Yeah.
Too many cooks spoil the soup. So you're right. There's no doubt that Sean McVay is the king of the hill until there's doubt that Sean McVay is the king of the hill. All right. And when you've got not just that many cooks in the soup, you've got egos involved too. Number one, Cliff's got an ego. All right. For one reason or another, Cliff doesn't stay very long in certain places. The Cardinals paid him to leave. Something clashes with Cliff and other people. He's got an ego. Brian Johnson, now this is his second trip into an unknown what the fuck am I going to do role after, helping Jalen Hurts. Didn't they win a Super Bowl while he was there when Johnson was there? All right. So with all of that going on, at some point, you'd think that there might be a clash of egos. And at that point, what does McVay do?
I also
Could be a recipe for disaster.
Another thing that comes to mind that Cliff is really good at is developing young quarterbacks. They could very well be bringing a young quarterback in, obviously not in the first round, but they could. Cliff's very good at that. He's proven that time and time again how good he is developing quarterbacks. And they got to make a plan after Stafford. Stafford ain't playing much longer.
This
so
is 16th
2 first-round picks as well this year. They've got a 23rd pick as well.
Yeah, that's what something maybe a back-end first rounder, a second rounder, something like that. Maybe for developmental purposes. They're trying to keep the eye on the future.
Oh, he's 38 years old, which is, Brady pushes it beyond belief as to how far you can go. But you know what? If I had to say that he could play another 2 years, Stafford, I'd be confident in that.
Yeah, I think he had to get talked out of retiring last year.
Remember, he had the back issues.
I was going to say, and through preseason, there was doubts as if he was going to be able to play at all because of the back, and he had the epidural and everything else. So, when you get to that age and you've got a bad back, what's the saying about a bad back? There's no such thing as I used to have it. I never used to have a bad back. I don't
talk about bad backs in this family.
Sorry, Jess. Yeah,
there's a lot of it going around.
So it looks like he's been in 16 years in the league, but still, you're right about that. But how bad was it? He came in and had a freaking MVP season. He's the MVP. So
it can't last,
But here's my other question.
Brady hardly ever got injured. Hardly ever.
No, but he did take a knee and missed an entire season.
He did.
Right.
That's his only injury.
Than you thought, but that was true.
But Matthew Stafford was getting plowed on a daily basis at fucking.
That's his business. We don't like to get into that kind of thing here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast.
Thank you, Yam. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Yam.
Hey, wow. Hey, Yam. What's going on? Yam, who's been with us for at least 295 of those episodes.
I would say so.
Yeah, at least. We love you, Yam. Which is really only a Thanksgiving thing, but we like yams year round.
I like what
All right, so that threw me off.
Yam every day.
What I was talking about. What were you talking about, Jesse?
Fuck if I know. What was I talking about?
All right, well, all right, by the way, this is indeed the 300th episode of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, which is amazing considering that Scott has guested on this program 643 times. It is a miracle of fucking somehow quantum podcasting that Scott, he can be on 4 podcasts at once. It's absolutely amazing. All right, so we're going to jump right into what we were talking about. All right, we got off track. I don't like to say we got off track. This is a free-form podcast. We talk about anything because I am the world's worst podcast host and I can't keep on track to save my life. So we will go wherever my brain leads us or somebody smacks us back into place. But we do have something planned out today. We've got 3 gentlemen here that are going to try to convince me who we should take with our number 7 pick. All right. So earlier this week, we all got together and everybody gave me a secret ballot, a secret list. And I've put together everybody that's run across. This is everybody on everybody's list. Everybody mentioned everybody else. So somebody's got something to say about all of this. So there was one player in which all of you were a thumbs up. So can you guess who that would be?
David Bailey.
David Bailey is it. So David Bailey is the one guy you all agree on. We'll start at the top with Jesse. Tell me why you want David Bailey at 7.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the need of a pass rusher, and he is one of the best ones that are coming out of this this draft. I mean, it is it's a desperate need for this team, but you don't want to be desperate when you're picking in the top 10. But he is one of the guys that has shown that that he can do it, and he may be available. He may be available. I don't think he will, but he may be available at 7. So I put him on the top of my list. If available, you run up there and grab him.
He's 6'3", 250 pounds, 22 years old. He's a senior from Texas Tech. Scotty, what do you like about him?
He's good. He's explosive. He's ultra explosive with his production.
Because he's lactose intolerant, maybe.
No, he's come out of both stance. So he's been in the 2-point stance. He's been in the 4-point stance. He's about get off. And when you do that and you get it and you can see someone like that, he's also he's the best edge rusher in this class by a long way. I truly believe that. And if he is there at 7, you're sprinting up to with the card. That's for sure.
I don't think Bane is too far behind.
Well, hang on. We'll get to him in a minute. Tony, you also had at the top of your list there, which wasn't in any particular order. You had him. And by the way, I want to commend you on your Joe Theismann jersey back there. My favorite quarterback of all time, in my opinion, the greatest field general this team has ever had. Paulie here. Hey, man, what's going on? He has uncontrollable flatulence, which gives him a big edge in the trenches. He's explosive. That's right. So, Tony, what do you like about him?
Yeah, I mean, the boys have kind of said it already. It's a combination of need, and we'll probably get into need against best player possibly later with a couple of other players. But his get off is ridiculous. His first couple of steps, the explosion, the bend, the closing ability, and he's got the finishing ability because a lot of guys are quite good at pressure and not so good at finishing. Right. And he got 14.5 sacks last year. He's solid from what I've seen and what I've read about. From scouts that he's solid against the run, but he's probably got a bit of work to do in that area. He's not as big as Bain, for example. We'll get to Bain later, but I think that unfortunately the needle seems to be pointing up with Bailey in terms of the projections and the mock draft at the minute. So
I'll tell you. For me, looking at him at 6'3", 250, that gives him that versatility, I think, to play off the line if need be. So, yeah, you want a guy that can rush the edge, but you've seen in our defense many times, and you've seen a lot of NFL defenses now where you bring that edge rusher back and he actually covers his own. Whether he would be as good at that or better at that than Bain, I wouldn't mind Bailey.
None of these big edge rushers, and I think Peter's mentioned this a little bit, or somebody was mentioning it today. They're not great in run, stopping the run, and that's okay. We do want somebody that's going to. We're moving into a 3-4, right? So we're going to want someone that's going to want to smack the quarterback, and we just haven't really had.
Let me tell you something.
That right now.
The game that never happened, which in my opinion was a CIA front for some kind of experimental chemical shit that they dumped on the USA. Super Bowl 18 against the Raiders. Watch the play where fucking Marcus Allen reverses direction and goes running for a touchdown. You've seen it a zillion times. Watch Dexter Manley. The man was not good against the run, but he was an absolute lethal weapon against quarterbacks, and he terrified them. And I don't have a problem with something like that, especially a guy that's his size that can be a little more rangy, that can move around and probably do a little bit more. Whether he's good against the run, hey, look, man, you see guys. How big is Max Crosby? He ain't that huge.
And you can they can always develop too. Coaching does have they're still young. These are all still young players. They're still impressionable. They still can develop.
There aren't many guys that we've seen in the last few years coming out of the draft with that first step quickness that he has off the ball. I mean, that's elite. Whatever you say about anything else, that ability to before the tackle is even out of his stance properly, Bailey's already halfway past him. And from there on out, his pressure rate. Although apparently his pressure rate was slightly down this year from the 2 previous years, and his sack total went up. So either way, he's getting pressure. So look, if he's there, he would be the pick.
I'm going to assume that because you guys all three picked that, and we all know that defense is probably high on the list. Now, this is barring free agency. We don't know. Free agency can change everything. We're just talking about it here, at the end of February. So I'm going to move next on defense. We're going to stay on defense, and I'm going to look at these guys not everybody had on their list in any way. Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State, 6 foot 205, 21 years old. Jesse, you're out on him in the first round at number 7. Scott, you're all in, and I didn't see a comment from you, Tony. So I tell you what, we'll start with Tony. Why don't you even look at him at 7?
Let's pump the brakes a little bit, okay?
I'm out on him. I'm in charge of this thing here.
I'm out at him at 7. I'm not out of him on him.
You
in
can
the first
explain
round.
when you get your chance. Jeez, Scouts ain't sitting here. All right,
Isn't
so
it my
Tony.
chance? You just told me to explain.
No, I didn't.
No, he's talking to Tony.
Oh,
I want Tony to say why, because Tony didn't make any mention of Caleb Downs whatsoever. So go ahead.
Did I? Did I not? He was
If
on
you
what?
did, I apologize. And the fact that I missed something is really not anything anybody who's been watching 300 episodes of this podcast should be surprised at.
I think I did have him on the long list, but I think to talk about the three edge guys. If you're talking about Reese as an edge guy as well, would have to be long gone. I wouldn't take him before any of those guys. You're then getting into the territory of kind of positional value, best player available, opportunity cost of picking a safety. Is it a prime? Is it a premium position, etc. But from Downs clearly is a leader and a tone setter and a side. He can play the whole field. He can tackle. He's basically the kind of player that we don't have. Whether it's worthy of the 7th pick or whether we're just at the stage where we just need as many good players as we can at this point on the defense, or whether you go down Jesse's route of saying you just pick whoever your highest graded player is, which and most teams, Jeremiah Love is probably going to be the top or second or third best highest graded player on anybody's draft board.
Right.
So, I understand the argument, and we'll probably develop this a bit later, so I won't go into the love part of it yet. But, Downs, safeties have been knocked generally for positional value and, over the number of drafts. Kyle Hamilton, we probably know that better than anybody. Would you take Kyle Hamilton now in a redraft? Of course you would. There's so many factors. There's so many factors that you have to consider.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In that thing,
rule, I think, with anything. All right, so I tell you, Tony, you mentioned a minute ago, and I'm sorry, I just cut you off, but
no, you're right.
That's fine. That's good because you're the one that could find me. All right, so when we're talking about draft need versus best player available, I think, and then I'm going to throw it around clockwise. We'll go to you, Jesse. We'll get away from Caleb Downs because that's a false start on my point. I'm just going to stick with edge at first, and we'll get to you, Scott. I swear to goodness, if you want to go pee, go right ahead. Let's see here. When it comes to need over best player available, I think it's interchangeable, and I think you can't ever avoid need. All right, we don't need a quarterback. You telling me I'm gonna pick one because that's the best guy available? No, that's ridiculous. You always look at need and then weigh that against best player available. And you don't take a guy because you need him in the draft. It's got to be a combination of both. All right. And so far, we've mentioned the one guy that everybody agrees on, Bailey, and he's that. So, Jesse, need versus best player available.
Okay. Look, if the best player available is an offensive tackle, we're not going to do that. Then we're going to go down to our second best player. Okay. It all has the board set up. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need an offensive tackle. Everything else is up for grabs. You know what I mean? Everything else is up for grabs. Then you take positional value into factor. Sorry, a defensive pass rusher is much more valuable than a guard or a linebacker or a defensive tackle or a safety or a running back or a wide receiver or a cornerback. It's just they are. So if you have a Bailey on your board and that's your next one, you're going to take a Bailey. Okay. Then you start going down the list like, okay, we've gotten in trouble so many time again, drafting need. Okay. Over best player available. It was shot us in the foot. I mean, it happens all the time, and we
drafting though, Jesse. I can't even look at whether what they saw as need over best player available. I can't even qualify because they were so bad at it.
Teams do this all the time, though. They shoot themselves in the foot by over grasping players. Listen, you fill your needs in free agency, and you shoot for the moon, and get talent in your core in the draft. And we haven't been able to do that because the people that's been picking lately, and before this new regime has come in, and now it's time to look. We don't have many or hardly any blue chip players on this team,
right?
So if there's a Bain or a Bailey or a Reese not available at 3, then you take, all right, see what you got at cornerback, see what you got at wide receiver, see what you got at running back, see what you got at linebacker, then you see what you got at safety. Because I'm sorry, I'm taking it more of an impact position that's higher on my board than I am.
You'll take an inferior player because of the impact of the position.
It's not. It doesn't mean that they're an inferior player, though. You know what I mean? It depends on how your board is lined up. Okay.
Well, obviously,
the best player at a position.
So
if
you're always
Jeremiah
going
Love's
best player,
above a
depending on
Caleb Downs, I'm sorry. This is why safeties aren't picked in the first round. The last one's been over 5 years. There's a reason for that, and we just got to kind of understand the fact that you find a safety starting quality safeties in the third round. It's not an impact position at all whatsoever.
Running back is.
Go ahead, Scott.
Running back is less valued than safety.
It's such horseshit.
On pay, it is. You can find a
pay is. We're not talking about pay. We're talking about impact of a value of
free agency. You can't have it both ways, Jesse. You're saying that safety isn't important.
No,
isn't a impact position.
Money has zero to do with this.
So then
zero.
Okay, I understand what you're saying about.
So what if the safety
money
is the best player out there?
That's what I'm saying to you. Safety is the best player out there. He is he is the best player in the draft, bar none. Jeremiah Love
says who? Says who? Come on now.
Watch it on film.
We're talking about an Isaiah Simmons type of player, a tweener type of player.
The last person who said says who challenged him with saber duel.
He's a glue guy. He has got the hallmark of a future All-Pro. This is written in 3 different.
The same things about Isaiah Simmons. Come on, man.
We said the same thing about Chase Young, and look at how that fucking turned out. Exactly. This is what I'm saying to you. It's a crapshoot. I get it, but you can't prioritize running back and say that that's an impactful position, and then say that safety isn't an impactful position.
Yeah, you can.
And just go.
Absolutely,
you can because you just did.
You can pull in a Ronnie Lott.
You can't argue the toss and say that Jeremiah loves this and be on the Love train, which we'll get onto, I'm sure. Well, I'm not in on Love at all. I just think we don't need that. We can pick that up in free agency. I'm not saying you can pick up a Love.
All right, this wasn't supposed to be this big an argument.
He may be the best running back in the world. I get that, but in your opinion, but we've seen with others, Genty, Robinson, Bijan Robinson's amazing. But is Genty amazing? He was right up there last year.
Terrible football team, and that's a good point. And look, I'll tell you what. Once again, I'm going to point to the Super Bowl and say, if you want to be a dominant run football team, you've got to have a defense that can make field goals stick, because you don't always get to score, and that's what you need. We don't have that, but I will right now go ahead and say to Scouts, dude, I'm sorry. I realize how hard it is to monitor one of these fucking things. Jesus Christ, out of media.
Sorry, dude. We can get passionate about people who we like in the draft, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
I think the argument with running backs, and I've heard this said before, is that running back is the sort of almost the star on the top of the Christmas tree. It's when you've built the rest of the team, you can drop a running back in as a final piece. Like Ashton Genty, you mentioned Genty, you mentioned Bijan, you mentioned you didn't, but Saquon.
Yeah,
they're all fantastic players.
Saquon was the star for the Eagles.
Yeah, but that's a different situation.
I mean, I don't mean like superstar. I mean star on top of the tree.
Yeah,
he came
in
exactly. Boom, right.
But I'm talking about them with the Giants. And I'm not disputing how good any of those 3 backs are. Did any of them make any material difference to how good the teams were?
I think Saquon might have enough.
They didn't have enough around them. So I think the running back is the piece you add later to the pie. You need to bake the rest of the pie first.
See, I disagree with this wholeheartedly because hang
on a second, my turn here. We going around the room once.
No, it's fine. Everybody wants a defensive player, which I think is
not necessarily. But we'll get to the defensive guys in a minute. When it comes to the running back, Saquon probably would have helped the Giants a lot more if he didn't get hurt. And we saw how he was just ripping us apart. We saw him in like his second game. So Jesse's looking like he's ready to assassinate somebody. Go ahead, sir.
No, this team is devoid of talent. Okay, devoid of talent.
Okay, yeah, but that's not where we are in this game.
Draft is devoid of talent. All right,
no, it's not.
Like there's not this draft is actually it's awful. It's not a good draft at all. It's the top heavy players aren't even that good. They're really not. So when you're talking about playing at 7, if we stick and pick at 7, you get the most impactful player possible. If we stick and pick, you want to go get a linebacker, then let someone else come and get that running back. Get something for it and move back.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the haul that you would get.
We'll
get the running backs in a minute. We're still on the defense.
Let someone come up and get that running back, because they want that running back. There's teams that want Jeremiah Love because he's that good.
If we would trade back in that regard, then you would start to consider Caleb Downs.
My freaking things are going out.
Yeah, or Sonny Styles.
All right, wait a minute. We're not even there yet. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to run this goddamn game here. Hold on
a second. Y'all hear that coming out?
What is it?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Like a squeak. It's like a bad buzz.
No,
we
haven't got anything.
It's only this. All right. I was just making sure it wasn't buzzing.
Okay. All right. So let's go to another linebacker, Sonny Styles. Since you mentioned him, Jesse, you've got out on Sonny Styles. Scott, you got out on Sonny Styles. Tony, you had Sonny Styles down low on your look at him later list. I'm not so out on Sonny Styles. I'm really not. I think that the guy's got size, 6'5", 243. He played at a top school, number 1 defense, green sticker wearing on the helmet, number 1 defense. We're looking for a new middle linebacker. You can't ignore that. I think that would be if we went for him at 7, I'd be happy. It would be a quality.
I don't think I would be.
I don't think I would be either.
If we traded back, yes, that's another one. I'm definitely for trading back and getting, again, positional value, man. It's a thing.
Middle linebacker
really is a thing.
Oh, I mean, whatever. Positional value to me is thinking about things down the future. I'm thinking about a guy that can step in and play. How's this guy going to play? And I'm looking at the talent level that he brings to the field and the heritage that he brings with him. Look, man, when you play at Ohio State, it's just like playing at Georgia. When you play with these big schools on these top defenses, you wear the green sticker on the helmet. I'm interested, especially when we need linebackers. And you know me, I am so starved for linebackers. I have been digging in the goddamn dumpster just to get a smell of one.
I will say this about Sonny
Styles. What do you think of
Styles? I'll just say this just real quick about Sonny Styles. I do like Sonny Styles. I like him more than I like Caleb Downs. In fact, and so did Ohio State. Caleb Downs was the linebacker, and Sonny Styles took his spot. And he had to go. He had to go
a lot bigger.
He had to go find they had to find a new spot for Caleb Downs. Again, that's what I'm saying. I think Caleb Downs is another Isaiah Simmons. I think he's a tweener, and you have to run a specialized defense for him.
All right,
I do like Sonny Styles. I think he brings leadership, and he's fucking so fast sideline to sideline as well too.
That's what I'm looking for.
Positional value. I would like to trade back a few spots before we took him.
I don't care about that. We're devoid of talent. You get it when you can. Go ahead, Tony. You had something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just on Styles, and I suppose just on the positional value as well. And I've heard the whole arguments about positional value. I understand what it means, but I also think at the same time, if we're talking about a safety or a linebacker, not all safeties and all linebackers are created equal.
Right. You come up with a Mike Singletary or a Ray Lewis and try to tell me he's not worth it at number 7. I mean, granted, I'm going way out to the extreme there, but go ahead.
Well, that's what I mean, though. That's what I mean. We don't know, and I don't know if Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles are going to be all pros or Hall of Famers. None of us are Nostradamus, as far as I'm aware.
Scott is.
But Scott,
you got a point.
But the point is that I don't think you can just put everybody in the same box and say we can't draft a linebacker because he's a linebacker. We can't draft a safety because he's a safety. What if?
Talent.
We desperately need talent, particularly on defense. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't draft offense at all, and free agency might change a few things as well. But it would still have to require the 3 edge guys to be gone before I'd even think about this. But I would still consider Styles at 7, and I would still consider Downs at 7. Because, if their tape and their grades and the reviews of the scouts are to be believed, these guys are potentially, all pro players potentially. Now, again, we don't know if they're going to be, but you can't put them in the same bucket as Joe safety or Fred linebacker. We don't know if they're going to.
Linebacker is not bad. But
they say Fred linebacker. The one thing that the one player that Styles has been compared to is Fred Warner. Would we turn down Fred Warner?
Yeah. No, exactly. That's what I mean. Styles has been compared to Fred Warner.
No,
that's
Styles,
what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
The thing is that we can't get hung up on comparisons because, man, each one of these guys are unique individuals.
Absolutely.
You got to take it for what they are. Now, Scott, you had not yet made a comment about Styles, and you had said
I like Styles. I'm not out on him at all. I just think at 7.
No, you said in your email that you fucking hate this guy, and that you know.
No, I didn't. I didn't at all. I really like Sonny Styles, but from most mock drafts that you look at, from most areas that you think the boards and people doing things, Styles is available at around 10. Someone is going to want this running back, so you trade back with one of them if they
10?
want it. Because Kansas City want love. New Orleans want love. They're 8 and 9.
Honestly, Scott,
the
all
one
of us want love.
The one thing with Styles, though, I don't think he gets past Dallas.
I don't think he gets past 5. Yeah, I think you're right. You probably at 12. About right.
If we're looking at him, we got to be, we got to be careful not to trade back too far because I think Dallas really likes him. Scott, Kevin Sheehan had a guy from Ohio State on. I think it was last week. They were talking about Caleb Downs. I got a lot of information on him.
Scott G says, where does Jesse get his info that Styles took down Spot, considering Caleb Downs was the nation's top-ranked safety and a consensus 5-star prospect in the 2023 recruiting class out of high school?
It's coming from the dude from Ohio State. One of the
Ohio State,
it was on the Kevin Sheehan show. You can go fucking back and look it up. I'm not going to do your homework for you.
That dude.
And I've actually heard it multiple times.
Styles, I think it
Styles.
was Styles used to be a safety and converted to linebacker.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Sticking with Ohio State linebackers, Arvell Reese, 6'4", 243 pounds, 20 years old. He's a junior. Hold on a minute before you start yakking. Let me introduce the fella. The only one of you that indicated any interest was Tony. So we'll start with you. What do you like about Arvell Reese?
Well, Arvell Reese seems to be one of these guys whose stock appears to be dropping at the moment for no reason, and he played a little bit of everything with Ohio State this year. He was some off the ball, he was some as an edge rusher. I mean, if he's going to be selected, I know we're having this argument about
I like versatility
value. If he's going to be coming into the NFL, the school of thought seems to be that it'll be as predominantly an edge. The Micah Parsons comparisons have been flashed around where he could do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I think he appears to be a little bit raw, needs a bit of development now. At the same time, we want somebody who can come in and impact the game straight away. We seriously need some impact. But, Reese was getting mocked at sort of in a lot of, well, even now, in a lot of the top 150s or top 100s, he's number 2 in most people's list.
Okay.
So, if it seems now that the way that the obviously we're pre-combine, we're pre-free agency, we're pre-everything, yet we're pre-visits, pro days and everything, but that Bailey's stock appears to be very much on the rise and Reese's seems to be slightly declining. Now that might even out, that might change. But if Reese's there at 7, I mean, I guess it also depends who else is there at 7, but if Reese's there at 7, you have to assume that certainly Bailey's gone, possibly Bain's gone. Then you absolutely walk the card up because Reese is going to have a higher grade than anybody. He's going to have a higher grade than Love. He's going to have a higher grade than Carnell Tate or Downs or anybody else you want to talk about.
The only reason why I didn't put Reese on is because my thinking he's going to be gone. That's the only reason why I didn't. Otherwise, he would definitely be on my list.
I don't even think he gets to the Cardinals at 3. I think he's gone. Yeah.
So Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
Ruben Bain,
who depending upon how the
Jesse wrote to me David Bain. Okay, what? Ruben Bain. Scott, you didn't even have him on your list, so we'll start with you. Why didn't you even have him on your list?
There's talk about ideal speed and length and arm length and all that sort of stuff. I heard obviously Adam Peters talking about wanting length, which is quite interesting today in his press conference.
Coming from you, this is rather,
Well, I know exactly there is that, but he hasn't got ideal arm length apparently for an edge rusher. So but I watched him in the championship game in college football, and I don't watch college football, and he stands out. There's no doubt about it. He stands out.
I think Peter's just kind of talking. He's like, unless it's somebody, he kind of, when he was talking about the arm length and stuff, he said, but there's in certain scenarios you would go with that. And I think Bain may fit that scenario. It depends on how well some of these players, some of the players that we're talking about, if the physical coordinator doesn't feel like he's going to be good for their particular scheme, then they might pass on somebody like that. It's really, I like him because he's an edge rusher. We need a fucking edge rusher. That's my top priority. I just don't think there's going to be edge rushers left. But Bain's got to be in there. He's got to be. He's got to be a prospect at 7.
I mean, he's been on the radar for everybody for like the last 6 months. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah.
He has. Also because he's got one of the great names in college football. If you're a Batman fan, obviously.
That's one of my. I don't like that character.
Oh, it's a great character, Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah, Tom Hardy I like, but that movie, we'll talk about that. That's another podcast. That movie, I can't stand it.
I digress. No, he's a different kind of player to Bailey. I mean, Bailey's all sort of first step quickness, bend, and Bain is relentless motor, power, sort of smaller package because he's smaller package in the sense that he's only he's 6'3", but he's 275. So he's got
he's compact.
He's got 25 pounds on Bailey, so he's probably not going to be quite as dynamic and off the ball as Bailey is. But but he's just the stuff I've seen of him and the stuff I've read about him, he's just an absolute dog.
I've heard it. I've heard that's exactly what I hear it. I've heard it so many times. Junkyard dog.
Relentless motor, just keeps moving, and he will just. He picks people up and just fucking moves them, man. And
he looks like a pit bull. He does. He looks like a pit bull, and he fights like a pit bull.
If and we're kind of future sort of predicting here, but if they went in the direction in free agency and signed one of these guys like Owe or Maffei or Phillips or somebody like that, who somebody who was perhaps a contrast to Bain, if you get one of these kind of speed guys a little bit off one edge. And then Bain as just a bruising, mauling, kick you in the face kind of guy, and then you throw back in.
I mean, we're forgetting we still have Dorrance Armstrong.
I was going to say you throw Dorrance back in there.
Yeah,
people
like to throw out our guys. We always undervalue our guys, not you necessarily, but
it's also about combinations of edge rushers. You don't necessarily want to have 3 guys or 4 guys who are all the same kind of edge rusher, the same kind of player.
It's
you want
the most rotated spot on the field is the defensive line. All game long.
I'll say this: if we pick up an edge rusher, one of the better edge rushers that are available in free agency, you got it from the Chargers or Jordan Phillips or something like that. I don't think we go edge rusher in the draft. I think they'll probably prepare. They're probably going to try to prepare like there's not going to be any left, and then we might see a different position taken.
All right, I agree. I think we're going to go heavy free agents on defense right now. In the next couple of weeks, this is where I'm really kind of nervous, just because I want to see how many of these guys make it to free agency. There's linebackers out there that I'm just drooling over. You guys know me. Linebacker. Well, you don't know me from when I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, man, my linebackers have always been my favorite. And the fact that we have neglected it, just straight up criminally neglected the position for so long. No offense, Bobby Wagner, you've played well and you've been very good. It's just we need that guy. We need that guy. So I'm down on that. I think we're going to go heavy after him here in free agency. I want to see Quay Walker come to free agency. I want to see some of these guys get there first.
The good thing, John, about the linebackers is I think some of them are going to be available. I think that's one of the deepest positions in free agency.
I hope.
So there might be a couple.
Quay Walker will definitely be available. It's whether you think he's worth the money.
Right. That's the thing, and I expect them to be somewhat frugal. We'll get onto that into a different podcast. And it's looking right now as if we're probably going to get to offense next week, because as usual, whenever we plan 12 things, we have time for 6 because we like to talk about it. Let's keep on the defense here real quick. Let's get to cornerback position, which it is a definite position of need. We all love Trey Amos. All right. I think that we all agree to say that Trey Amos is a player in the making, and that probably was held back somewhat by this bad defense that we had. But the other side is wide open. We don't know what's going to happen over there, whether Mikey's going to move to the outside or not. So Mansour, how do I say his name? Delaney.
Delane.
Right. Mansour Delane. LSU, 6 foot, 191 pounds, 22 years old. Jessy and Scott are both in on this guy. This is a local boy. He comes from our area. And that's always happy.
I'd like to go first, just real quick. It's going to be short. He's great,
local young man.
He's great. Nobody throws to him because he is sticky, super sticky in coverage. I think this is the direction we're going to go. For some reason, I think this is the highest probability of what's going to be available in how the draft board that I see. I could be wrong, but just how I'm looking at the draft board and how it's going to shape up. I think we're going to be in a prime position. Mansour Delaney is going to be prime for the picking, and we get stick and pick at 7 and pick a cornerback 1 matched with Amos, and I think it's going to be a delectable pair for a very, very long time.
He is as locked down as lockdown gets, John. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's just amazing. He's an amazing corner when you watch him on tape. As Jesse said, people don't throw his way because of that reason. If people aren't throwing his way, that is absolutely good enough for me. He is CB1 with upside to become an all-pro in future. So for me, and genuinely, I think you'd be able to get him at 10, maybe 12.
So maybe I'll have to look and see who comes
know.
after us as to who might need to be pulling up to try to. Who's at 10? You guys keep mentioning.
Casey at 9.
Casey's 9.
All right, so they want Love. That's what you're banking on for these.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I always say don't trust Andy Reid for shit.
10 is the Bengals.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, New Orleans at 8.
Now they could do with a corner. To be fair.
Yeah. All right, so
like I said, I think this is the most likely scenario. If I had to put percentages of what we do and who we pick, I think it's Mansour Delaney.
I tell you what, I could definitely see us trying to shore up the upfront and going with cornerbacks that are going to be less expensive in free agency. Guys like Rasul Douglas. I would see because of the tie back with Durante Jones. If Jeff Okudah wasn't here, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, Jeff Okudah. Yeah.
Right.
You've got Alontae Taylor. You've got
good corner.
Jalen Watson. There's 3 or 4 decent free.
Trey Woolen. You've got Joe.
There's top flight guys.
Corners.
There's guys that are going to cost money, but a guy like Douglas is going to cost $4 million. $4 or $5 million. And I can see them saying, okay, we're going to kick the can a little bit on cornerback and bring in some veterans. They're going to try to hopefully be in on Jonathan Jones. They signed him last year, right? So,
look, a lot's going to depend on what they're obviously going to have a plan. It's their job. It's what they do. So, but they don't know what who they're going to be successful with, because they might get outbid. They might not get who they want. So, by the time we get to the draft, we're going to have a much better idea of what you're likely to, which direction. If they happen to sign a corner to a decent contract in free agency, they're less likely to draft one at 7.
Yeah, that's kind of like exactly what I was saying with the edge position too. If they sign a big edge for that, just because I know they like Dorrance Armstrong, and he's played very well since we've gotten him. Unfortunately, he got injured last year, but like John's always says, he was leading the league in sacks when he got injured. So I feel the same way about edge in corner, and it could be flip flopped. Never know.
People do forget about Dorrance Armstrong, and I think he is a quality pass rusher. It wasn't just a short period of time last year. He was leading and he was also leading in pressures. But the year before that, he was making all kinds of ruckus. Just to give you an unscientific poll on it, we were giving him butt pats almost every week over here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, which, by the way, for those of you turning in, this is our 300th episode. Thank you for being here. You'll get some cake later. All right, let's see. Moving on, we've got Kedrick Falk. nobody's in on Kendrick Falk. I guess is it because you guys think he's all going to be out?
No, I just don't think he's as good as the rest of the edge rushers.
By the time you get there, he's going to be gone.
Maybe way back, trade up to at least 15 to 20, maybe.
I think he's a tier. I know that they set the draft boards vertically, and they also look at tiers. So I think he's a tier below. He's a tier below those top edge guys, and you certainly wouldn't pick him at 7. If they traded back to the mid to late part of the first round, I think the danger with Falk is he's another one of these guys that everybody seems to love the traits over the performance, and I understand why traits are important and that they can flourish. But everybody was all about Shamar Stewart last year and what great traits he had, even though he had no production. And then he was useless for the Bengals. Now, obviously, he's a rookie; he's got time to develop. But
the Browns,
I'm always a bit wary of these guys who are these sort of unbelievably traitsy guys, and I'm not sure it translates as often as the draft nicks and the scouts think it probably does. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I always think that they make everything into a number and leave out the guy. What one player is when you this whole positional value thing and all that kind of thing like that, it absolutely leaves the player out. So do you guys want to tackle offense today? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players that we can yak about. We can save that till next week, and we can get into some fun. This is the 300th episode.
Yeah, we'll save that till next. We'll save that till next time. Yeah, we got time before free agency starts.
That's right, we do, and we'll talk about that next time about the offensive draft picks that we'd like to. We're also going to want to have Ken Johansson, coming in here to discuss the draft with us. We always like to have him on. All right, so this is our 300th episode. I'm going to go ahead and say here's some of the fun stuff that we've done. Where should we start? Should we start? I'll start with our good friend down here at the bottom right, Scott Hartley. Dude, you are the greatest sport that there is. Whenever I say to Scott, "Hey, dude, send me a picture of this," he will do it. I have set Scott to do the dumbest things, and here you go. And it's like any stupid thing my sense of humor can come up with, Scott's willing to go along. So here we go. Scott Hartley. Now, Scott, it says here that you grew up in the circus as an acrobat with your mom and your dad and your uncles, and that you toured around Europe as the Flying Hartlinis. Is that what you want to talk about that?
The Hartlinis.
Right.
No, John, it's not. I mean, where are you getting this information from?
Wait a minute. We've even got pictures. Hold on. Here's the Flying Hartley. You can't really see him there. Here, let me give you a close-up. There he is. He's up there. Now, Scott, I must congratulate you, my friend. I have to say to you, you guys got the scoop of the fucking year. I was watching One Point Safety Show yesterday. You guys had Taylor Swift on the podcast to announce her new album. What the fuck was up with that?
Where are you getting this information from, John?
Hang on. Look. All right, here. You can't really see her. She's behind this big
Oh, there she is behind Scouts. Yeah.
Right, there she is. I'm not surprised. Probably most of Liverpool is back there. Anyway, it says here, Scott, that you used to be a member of a punk rock band back in the late 80s. You were in a band called the Snot Fartley.
That's pretty cool.
Virginia McCaskey, I'd lick your butthole.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
okay.
it's a t-shirt.
It's good to be. Yeah, got the Darryl Green t-shirt.
You gotta
got
stand up. What are you doing here?
Man.
He looks like Butters taking a piss. South Park.
Say hello.
I can't wait. We've got more episodes to find out more about Scott Hartley.
The car. I thought you would have gone with the car and at least put a gay bar in there. But never mind.
Oh, there's the car. Of course.
That was.
I'm not having a poo.
Yeah, that one there. He protested. He found himself in a gay bar.
No, I didn't. No,
No.
there is. Yeah.
That only gets me. Yeah.
Always a good one there. And of course, he was.
Jesse's Castle went was the over in the LA and San Francisco. It was 40.5 and turned out to be 41.
Scott took a list. Yeah, he just loves it, doesn't he?
He loves his list. He gets off on that shit.
I do like lists. But it was the funniest thing with the car was when we actually found a small car in Madrid. It was amazing. Send you a picture.
All right, so we also we make our own list every week, or not every week, but at least somewhat close to a week. All right, the top 10 things Agent Buddy Baker can do while waiting out his Terry McLaurin negotiation. Number 10, volunteer for experimental hemorrhoid surgery. Number 9, headlines we're looking at. John Mara, Weasley cheating pencil dick bastard owner of the New York Giants, has been named the Weasley cheating pencil dick bastard of the year by the John Mara Society. Number 8 thing Joe Witt can say that might make some people happy this week. Hey, what happened to my brakes? So number 7, Donald Trump became the first president to attend the first half hour of a sporting event of the Super Bowl. This has been recorded now. This is why I mentioned this. This is the fastest exit of a major sporting event by a sitting president since George W. Bush threw out the first pitch at the Indy 500 and caused a 12-car pileup. Number 6, please, is fuck a penguin. Yes, this is a.
What is fucking wrong with you?
Well, this is a bucket list item. Number 5, way that Jessy and Scott's trip to Spain can be ruined. The Commanders' defense lands safely in the field. All right, where am I? Number 4. Number 4 of the top 10 reasons to watch Monday Night Football this week. Taylor Swift's tits might pop out on TV while she's jumping around celebrating Travis Kelce's second touchdown. Number 3, for a nice surprise, Philadelphia Mounted Police announced they have been feeding their horses Nestle's Quick to add a chocolatey flavor to the horse turds eaten by happy Eagle fans after the game. All right, number 2, hit Green Bay's hottest club, the Oval Office Strip Club. I'm dead serious about this place. It is in the heart of the bustling nightlife area of the city. This is oh my god,
oh man.
The Philadelphia Eagles are giving back to the community with an outreach program that are giving all fans up to the age of 45 the opportunity to get one free hot dog at training camp for every Dr. Seuss book that they can read by themselves during the Number 2, stay alive. Now, this one's always on my list, and it keeps getting higher up on the list every goddamn year.
What's the number 1 thing then, John?
All right, I showed you that you can buy a cheese head, and you can buy another cheese head for. All right, well, you can buy a whole cheese suit, so Scotty can have a cheese suit. Oh, there we go.
The penguin and stay alive. I've never belly laughed so much.
Yeah. Whenever I can get Jessy to say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I know I've gotten a good one there. Damn. Fuck a penguin. Goddamn right. Let's see. Let's see. Tony, you've never seen these things, have you?
I've seen a few of them when I was, I haven't watched every episode, I must confess, but I've seen a few of them before.
Well, they are viral, they get around, and people send them to people in their offices and get fired for them and all kinds of stuff. So here's some fun stuff that'll get you fired. As we all know, Brian Daboll has won the award for the coach most likely to be mistaken for a butt plug by airport personnel.
Scouse said you didn't pass the Pepsi challenge there, John.
Well, whatever. I'll tell you what, Scouse. I guarantee you put Scouse in front of 2 glory holes. He knows which one's been drinking the fucking ginger ale. Anyway,
what? Where did that come from?
So now you threw me off. I can't remember what the hell I was saying. We're gonna have to I can zoom way in on this thing. So
Okay.
All right. Oh my.
That is right.
I mean,
Going out of the pistol this time to McCaffrey. Another carry.
Scott, can you hear me?
All right, John, how's it going?
Hey, Scotty, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Daniel Jones, fuck you. Fuck you. Daniel Jones.
Harry Sphincter.
Meditations with Magic Johnson.
It is the holidays, and it is at this time of year that I like to say happy holidays, because it is the holidays, and you are supposed to be happy. But I am not happy. On Christmas Eve, I watched my Commanders lose to the Jets, and that is not good. But now people tell me it is good to lose so we can get a quarterback. I do not want a quarterback. I want all of my money back. I don't think this team even knows how to play football. This is some shit that I have gotten myself into.
This was AJ Brown reading on the sidelines here.
Them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Who can forget these timeless classics?
Lawrence Taylor can suck my dick.
All right.
You did him dirty there, man.
I did not.
Oh shit, Dr. Octopus is right around the corner with a death ray. Spider-Man better look out.
Play fake. Heineke. Sailed over the head of Terry McLaurin.
My name is Watson and I play for the Browns. I like running, passing, and scoring touchdowns. Now here is something that I bet you don't know. I like sticking things up in my butthole. Yep, no matter what it is, I'm game for anything.
So there you go. There's some fun stuff.
I forgot that Heineke fucking throwing at Terry. Where was him?
Look, you know what? This is not the most expert podcast in the world. We like to talk about football. This is a fan show. I want to make sure that's crystal clear to anybody tuning in now 300 episodes too late. We are all just fans. We like to talk bullshit and we like to run our mouths and have a few jokes. And that's the kind of stuff that you miss if you're not tuning in every week. Plus, we've had other fun. We've called some celebrities. We called Jerry Jones a couple times. Let's see what those sound like. Here, I got to see here.
So we were just talking about old Tay-Tay. I know she's probably one of your favorite people in the world, Taylor Swift, and how the NFL is, zero ends on her, and a lot of fans give a lot of hate to Taylor.
Right.
But what do you think she brings to the game?
Well, she brings pussy, for God's sakes. What else do you think? I mean, God dang it, look at her ass, for Pete's sake. That's what I'm looking at whenever they talk to her. Even if she's up there behind the goddamn glass in the booth, I'm like, hey, them titties are just down underneath there a little bit, and I bet they look like this. So that's what it brings to the NFL. And not only that, but she's got a legion of fans, and most of them have titties. So that brings even more to the NFL. And I'm telling you, that makes it pretty goddamn good as far as Jerry's concerned.
Fucking Jerry. All right. Well, other than the titties, do you think it's good for the NFL? Showing her on screen so much.
Oh, absolutely. Because then everybody sitting at home has the chance to think about her titties. And that right there keeps viewers glued to the screen. I mean, let's think about it. You can say all you want, aside from the titties. But the fact of the matter is there ain't no aside from the titties. And you got to think about the marketing.
Christ, Joe. I got one more for you, Jerry. Just kind of off the wall question.
That's all right. Jerry's always off the wall.
Pornhub or Playboy?
Well, now that's quite a good question. I got to tell you, it really depends on the mood that I'm in. Sometimes I'm feeling a little playful, maybe a little shy, and the soft air brushes in Playboy, they're just right. Especially if I'm feeling nostalgic and I want to look at some buff. You understand what I'm saying? You get one from 1976, and my God, you don't remember the days of pubic hair, boys. I'll tell you what. Let me give you a little.
Oh my God. Jerry,
Oh, Jerry, get one stuck.
Jerry, I am a fan ambassador for the Washington football team.
What the hell is that?
This
My
is
God.
inappropriate, sir. Inappropriate.
Well, maybe you ought to talk to Jimmy over there. He's the one that asked me the goddamn question. Sometimes I'm a much more rambunctious feller. I'm looking for something a little different, and goddamn it, Pornhub is terrific. Any old mood I get in. Got a guy on girl, oral sex of all kinds. Of course, the butt play is there, and then there's some of the even the more exotic stuff that I like. Brazilian fart porn, or
I'd like to apologize. I'd like to apologize to the Washington football team.
Don't apologize. They're probably looking at it right now. Hey, go ahead and go on there and Google upside down swirling Hernandez. That's a hell of Sounds like one of y'all are listening to the Brazilians right now.
Well, Jerry, I appreciate your time, sir. We got to get moving. We got some other stuff going on.
Thank you, Jerry. We'll see you at FedEx Field come Sunday.
Dentist chair. You get yourself a dentist chair and a jar of Nutella. And God damn it, it's game on.
That was like was that the first time that you guys had called Jerry?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the swirling Hernandez.
That was legitimately funny.
Look, Keith and Jesse invited me onto this show after they had been doing it for a while, and I got to be flat out honest. I didn't really know you guys all that well, and I was like, sure, okay, whatever. And I figured you guys knew what you were getting.
Maybe not quite.
We did that. All right. So then, okay, here I played this once before. So this is the second time this has ever made the right here. After we used to pre-record the show, right? So when the bit was over, Jesse would, or one of us would clap to give me a spike on the thing to show us when the bit was over, and then we would chill for a minute. And this is after that.
Jesus fucking Christ!
God, Jesus Christ, John. Dude, when he said licking Tanya's butthole.
What the hell was that?
Bro, I have no chance.
Somebody let a fucking donkey in here.
So I heard that, and then it was I said, okay, I've got to use this sometime. So I used it here. That is one of my favorites. I swear. I don't know how it came about, Jesse, that I was just listening to that one day, and I
thought it was me. What
I did. I thought it was you.
No, it was Keith.
Definitely Keith.
Well, because earlier in the bit you were laughing like that, and I thought it was you because it sounded just like your laugh. But then it immediately reminded me of the Sand People on Star Wars. Okay. Let's do that. All right. So before we get out of here tonight, thank you for everybody that's been joining us tonight. We've had some issues with Twitter. We'll figure out what's going on with that with whatever the fuck it is that we got to figure it out with. But we've had some sponsors. Oh, I'll tell you what. We've had sponsors in the past. So before let's do this. We've got some emails today that are going to congratulate us on our 300. So we'll play. This one will be sponsored by the NFL football. Or I guess this was Washington football team at the time, Jesse. the fan overreaction kit.
Are you a Washington football fan active on social media?
Hell yeah, go team!
Have you ever been called an idiot or told you didn't know anything about football?
Oh yeah, all the time, you moron.
Washington football fans active on social media, this is for you. It's the complete Washington football fan real-time overreaction kit. Now you can share your stupidity instantly during the game as it happens over all your social media platforms.
Oh, wow.
Want to fire a coach or a player?
That's what I would do.
Just select their name and your dumbass post will write itself.
That's cool.
Instantly access a complete list of players we could have had that are better than the sorry-ass motherfucker you're watching out there on the field.
I told you, we should have signed Sam Darnold.
The complete Washington football fan real-time overreaction kit allows you to immediately say some stupid shit and then move seamlessly to the next stupid shit you want to say without having to back anything up with facts or reality.
We should sign Cam Newton. He's better than anybody we have.
With one click, you can choose from hundreds of pre-written posts to instantly access the most popular game day comments. Comments like, I told y'all this team sucks, but nobody wanted to listen to me. John Bostic couldn't tackle my grandma. We should have drafted Justin Herbert. Why can't we stop anybody? What the fuck is this? What the fuck was that? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this team.
That sounds awesome.
Download the Washington football fan real-time overreaction kit right now and let everybody know that you're the genius and you should be running the team.
It's amazing how well that holds up.
Every bit is true today.
Every bit of it. All right, so the first email there brought to you by whatever that was. Here it is. Let's see here. Hi, guys. Congratulations on 300 episodes of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It sure seems like just yesterday I was taking over the Redskins coach, then getting cancer, then putting together a shitty roster, watching my boss get caught being a skeevy, thieving bastard, and leaving with a shitload of our contracts expiring. Anyway, thanks for getting me the interview with the Cardinals. It got me out of the house for a while. They hired someone else, so I think my chances of getting the job are pretty slim. All the best. Ron R. So, Ron, checking in. Thanks to good to hear from you there. All right, our second email of the day will be brought to you by the Real Men of Genius.
The Bleeding Burgundy podcast presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Washington football team secondary player.
Mr. Washington football team secondary player.
You know every receiver the opposing team has because you spend the whole game reading his name on the back of his jersey.
How did that guy get past me again?
Unknown receivers circle your game on the schedule and invite their whole family to watch them roast you like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Welcome to the NFL, Deontay Harris.
You couldn't cover the deep third if you got paid millions and millions of dollars to do it.
Landon Collins, what the fuck was that?
You lay down and give it up on third down like a $5 prostitute who took ecstasy at a frat party.
Oh, so easy.
So step out and take a bow, Mr. Washington football team secondary player. Because without you playing the way you do, this team might be 4-1 or 3-2.
Mr. Washington football team secondary player.
I think we had just lost to the Bears.
Yeah. That was a good one.
I think the first show I was ever on, Jesse, I did some kind of promo for some kind of little club that was behind the dumpster and down the alley. Some kind of goddamn disgusting porno club that I made this advertisement up for, and I read it boop on the show, and Keith, I could see him turn like 6 shades of green. So Keith, if you're watching, I was so happy to see that. All right, let's see here. Our second email of the day coming in here from, it says, let's see, Menon. If you think for a moment you're using my name to come up with some idiotic email congratulating you on 300 episodes of the podcast, you can just forget it. Do not even play with me. I hate you guys. I will seek my lawyer on you so quick your heads will spin. I will sue you into oblivion. This is your only warning. I will not be trifled with. Whether or not you think I can cover the wide receiver or make the interception, it's no reason to make fun of me the way you dickheads do. Sincerely, Benjamin Saint-Just. So, I don't know if that counts. We might get sued over that. We'll find out. Benjamin Saint-Just checking in here. You know, I forgot to upload the video of what you guys did. And that's good because I don't want to take credit for that. That was the 1 Point Safety Show with the greatest prank of all time. Getting Benjamin Saint-Just to get out there in a parking garage. And what was that?
Called himself Saint Ghost.
Cameo? Was it Cameo?
Yeah.
And you told him to please say Saint Ghost because that's what we call him because he's so awesome.
It was Halloween. So,
yeah.
So I said, I'll call you Saint Ghost.
Okay,
and then the whole of the, and then he forwarded to FO Bar, and the whole locker room laughed at him and said, "You do realize the piss out of you.
That was the funniest practical, dude. That's the problem with the fact that the Bleeding Burgundy podcast is such a small podcast. There's so few people, and even though you're the number one podcast for the Commanders in Britain, the world should know about this. It really should. Before the World Cup starts, when y'all come to the U.S., we should figure out a way to pirate that up onto the video. Benjamin St. Ghost talking to everybody. All right, let's see here. We have not necessarily one more email, but we do have one more sponsor, and then we have. I do have something here. So, okay, we have a voicemail that was left for us, and it is sponsored by John Bostic's scent.
From the John Bostic collection comes a fragrance for the man who doesn't know what he's doing. For the man who has all the questions. The tight end caught a pass. The running back is open in the flat. Tackle someone.
My favorite part.
For those days when you want to be out of position. Or the days you want to be hopelessly slow to react. Or both. Whiff by John Bostic. Available now wherever bullshit is sold.
That was one of my favorite ones right there.
I know.
That's good.
No, that was Jesse's suggestion. That was your idea that we were sitting here bullshitting one day after one of the podcasts. Keith had to go, and you and I, we had turned off everything. We were just sitting here bullshitting. We thought about it, and you gave me that idea, and that was a perfect example of it'll go in the vault. It took a while before it came out. It'll go in the vault, but it'll find time and it'll come out. And man, that is one of my favorites too. All right, so that one, Whiff by the John Bostic collection, brings us to this voicemail. We asked for a bunch of people to give us 300. You know, these are people that we've talked about on the podcast quite a bit, people that have played against the Commanders. So we got, I believe this one comes from Kyler Murray's cell phone. So this is a voicemail.
Yo, dumbasses. The nerve you got calling me up, asking me to give you a shout-out for your 300th episode? You guys are dicks. Y'all have been making fun of me for being small since day one. I've had enough of this shit. Y'all think making jokes about getting snatched up by a bird is funny? Man, that shit hurts. I tell you what, I only fell down one sewer grate. Y'all act like I can't even walk down the sidewalk. You said they had to call the fire department to help me get down from a bar stool at the club. That shit was ridiculous. My mother heard that shit. It scared the hell out of her. Well, look, I've had it up to here. My lawyer's gonna hear about this shit y'all keep up with these short jokes and tiny man bullshit. Y'all keep it up, you hear? I will fuck you. Oh, goddamn it, man. Man, who the hell spits gum on the goddamn sidewalk? Oh, goddamn it, now I'm stuck. I'm gonna be late. Man, this shit is nasty. Was it you? Was it you? Motherfucker, I will kick your ass.
Kyler Murray checking. Wait, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we have had some sponsors over the year, and let's see. We've got to give them their due. Scott's Peanuts today is brought to you by Abner Woo's Delicious Pork Anus. Yes, Abner.
You're muted, John.
Sorry, for a second there. I just got to break it off real quick because it sounds for a second there like I said Scott's Penis is brought to you by.
Yeah,
I think it says
Pretty sure you did.
Appearance. I don't know what we were talking about, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So Scott's Penis is brought to you by. Scott's Peanuts today is brought to you by Abner Woo's Delicious Pork Anus. Yes, Abner Woo's Delicious Frozen Pork Anus. Mothers everywhere know that to get delicious restaurant quality at home with Abner Woo's Frozen Foods. Stir-fried pork anus, kung pao, and many more recipes will have your family saying, Mom, is it anus night? No, we didn't do that. Abner Woo's Cosmetics, white shit for your face and hair. Let's see. I did the Benjamin St. Ghost roast. Roast. That's right. What are the holidays without some delicious dick? Abner Woo's festive frozen spotted dick is sure to please all the dick lovers in your house this Christmas. Just pop it in the oven, and when the cream comes to the top, it's all done. Jim sure loves his dick the old-fashioned way, but Abner Woo's delicious international variety pack gives Sally the chance to try a new dick every Christmas. Whether it's the big American spotted dick or the smaller Asian flavors of spotted dick, everyone is sure to have the dick they want this Christmas. Get your Abner Wu Festive Frozen Spotted Dick today. Available in your grocer's freezer. And thank you for sponsoring, Scott, as always, Abner Wu Industries. Abner Wu makes breakfast fun. All kids love chocolate, and each bowl of delicious Heine-Ho's are jam-packed with vitamins and minerals. And it comes with a free peanut surprise in each box. And new from Abner Wu. Dildos. Give your morning a charge with new Dildos cereal with delicious marshmallow vibrators, butt plugs, dildos, and ticklers. By the way, today, of course, Scott's appearance brought to you by Abner McWoo's old-fashioned frozen family-style haggis. Abner McWoo's old-fashioned family-style frozen haggis, delicious industrial-grade animal offal stuffed with the most savory brown shit scrabbled from the hard earth of the Highlands and baked in a tempting urine-colored sauce. Your family will love every bite of Abner McWoo's family-style frozen haggis.
McWoo.
Based on an ancient McWoo family recipe dating back to the 1600s, this haggis will be sure a big hit with your family. Just pop it in the microwave for a few minutes. When the whole house smells like vinegar and urine, it's done. Give your family Abner McWoo's delicious old-fashioned family-style haggis today.
I think Abner McWoo. Abner McWoo, I think, if I remember rightly, that was the night I actually got shouted at by my wife because I was laughing so much.
You was crying, I thought, there.
I was, yeah.
Appreciate it, Paulie, but thank you.
Paulie, with so much love for the BBP crew. Thank you very much, very much. All right, so yeah, it looks like it's about time that we're being done. We've been on for quite a while. This has been a wonderful 300th episode. We've had an excellent argument and discussion over the defensive draft choices that are coming up next week. I know we always say we want to take a break, but next week, you guys good for next week, Tuesday?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Yeah. Next Tuesday, and Max will probably be here as well. We'll discuss some offensive options in the draft, and we'll have a good argument where, I mean, maybe what we can do here is when y'all go to Pittsburgh, if you're flying through London, we can get Scott and Jesse in the same room and argue over Jeremiah Love.
No, we have a wrestling match once we get to the hotel.
Oh, yeah, well, no, I don't want to see video of that. I'd just rather see you guys argue about some football. All right. Anyway, I hope everybody's had a good time today, and I hope everybody that's listening later on is going to have a good time. And I'm just saying these words really because I'm trying to look around to find my closing music here, and there it is. There it is. All right, so for the 300th episode, thank you to Tony Wheat for being our special guest today. Thank you for Scott showing up on it for the 650th time on a 300 episode.
I think Max will be back. He's been working nights, so I think his schedule's changing. That's right, John? That's
right. Max will be he'll be back. I think well, never mind. I think Nazor gave him the nights off at 7-Eleven. He was threatening to close the place. No, it doesn't work for 7-Eleven. All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for everybody looking later, and everybody give us a like and a thumbs up because we do it for you. And we'll see you next time on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast.
The next 300.